everybody, it is Steve, your friendly neighborhood lawn gnome. Welcome back to another episode of Stats, Trends, and Picks, and this time for the month of March, recapping February 2024. And if you happen to be watching on a Wednesday, happy new comic book day. So please excuse the voice. I know we're still somewhat in a decline, but we're in an upswing point at this point. This is the best that I have sounded in days, so we're just going to run with it. And if I have to take a couple of pauses for water, please, I apologize in advance. So how did February of 2024 go in regards to new comic books? So let's go straight into the numbers. DC beat Marvel out this time around, but DC is also staying consistent because it is now the same number of books that I bought last month in January as well. And Marvel, not so far behind, but it looks like Image took a little bit of a dive, and the other conglomerate rose a little bit. Now, I'm not surprised with what's happening with Marvel and DC, and because DC Comics is still giving me a lot of good things that I am interested in, whether it's Golden Age titles or whether it's these great miniseries that they're making. But with Marvel Comics, along with me maybe punishing myself seeing the end of the Krakoa era, I gotta say, the Ultimate Universe comics are working. I read Ultimate Spider-Man #2, and I loved it. I read Ultimate Black Panther #1, enjoyed it very much, and because of the fact that the speculation is high for these books as well, thank goodness the stories are great enough to back it up, I'm actually very excited for Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men #1, and I will be investing in the Ultimates #1 when it comes out in June. But where is this Ultimate Universe going at the end? I'm not sure, but that's the reason why I'm here and very much enjoying the ride. So, I still feel that, along with the Ultimate Universe comics, the fall of Krakoa will end, and I don't see myself really getting on board with new X-Men comics when the whole franchise reboots. It's really going to be based on if they get a new writing team that really is exciting for us. Plus, with DC, there's a new event starting up in this summer called Absolute Power, and who knows what that is going to give us. The only thing that I do know is that Mark Waid is headlining the event, and possibly it's going to give us a brand new Justice League run, and from what I'm hearing for rumors, it is going to be headed by Mark Waid and Dan Mora. With Image, on the other hand, I don't really know what the future is going to be like outside of some brand new titles. The one that I'm really excited for is one that I'm going to mention later when I give you guys my top picks. But the big mystery is going to be Spawn, because Spawn 350 hit last month, and I'll let you know what my thoughts are and see if it even was one of my top picks. But after reading that issue, my question is, am I still going to be on the Spawn train? Am I going to still read all the titles? Because I read an article the other day about how there's going to be 15 new Spawn titles, mini and maxi series coming out this year. I don't even know if I'm going to have the energy or the strength to read all those Spawn titles. So, after reading 350 and planning to read all the epilogue issues for the current Spawn titles, that is where my decision is going to be. Will I stay on the Spawn train entirely, or will I be jumping off? We'll figure that out, I guess. So let's take a look at the percentages. Once again, 35% of my reading went to DC Comics, and just about 30% went to Marvel, and the others rounded it out for the total of 100%. And now we finally start to get a little chart going, we got the colors going, and DC is still at the top. So, how did my predictions go for February of 2024? We didn't do too terribly. As a matter of fact, we went 3 for 4. For the first week of February 2024, I gave it over to Patrick Hovarth and IDW, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, issue number 3. This is my favorite read of 2024 so far, guys. I don't even know if that's even going to be beaten, even though this series is ending in May. But issue number 3 picked up right where issue number 2 left off, and I loved it. This story is getting so interesting. The suspense is killing me. I cannot wait for issue number 4. For the second week of February 2024, I went to Dark Horse Comics and gave it to Matt Kintz. If you find this, I'm already dead. This is a 3-issue miniseries, and this series is an amazing blend of science fiction and horror. I loved this book. It was such a roller coaster ride, full of action, and I love this main character. I am so excited with only 2 issues to go how Matt Kintz is going to wrap this up in a perfect package, because the thing is, he normally does. For the third week of February of 2024, I went to Image Comics, and I gave it over to Todd McFarlane's record-breaking Spawn issue 350. It was everything I expected it to be, full of action, and getting back into Spawn Comics with issue 300, this story arc capped itself off beautifully with the end-all be-all question, who sat on the throne of hell? It was a very big surprise, and a very big surprise came after the new ruler of hell emerged. So this is where my question lies. I am going to read the epilogue 4 issues of the Spawn titles, which take place 6 months after this issue, and we're going to find out where these stories are going. And that is where I'm going to come to the decision on whether I want to keep reading. Nothing would make me happier than to at least read the regular Spawn title, the landmark, the original, the one and only Spawn till issue 400. But who knows? It's going to really depend how I feel after reading Spawn issue 351. And then, for the last week of February 2024, I was planning to give it to Joshua Williamson's Duke number 3 over at Image Comics. It was a great read, but a big surprise became my top pick, and it went to Marvel Comics. It was Chip Zdarsky's 3rd book of Avengers Twilight. This is a great miniseries, guys. It reminds me very much of Kingdom Come, even though the art is much to be desired. But Daniel Acuña's art in this book is really good, and the story is really captivating, and with a lot of build-up in the first 2 issues, we got a full-on, action-packed 3rd installment. And I loved this book a great deal, and I'm really looking forward to issue number 4, as well as the rest of the series, which is going to be a total of 6 issues. So that was my picks for February of 2024. So now, what is going to be my March 2024 predictions? It's going to be a very exciting month, guys. So many great things coming, but particularly a lot of great things coming from the indie labels. So once again, when it comes to which companies are going to be headlining the predictions for myself in regards to my top picks for March of 2024, we're going back to the indie books. There's going to be so many great indie titles coming out. So when you take a look at the numbers from this past month and where they were in regards to Image and the independent conglomerate, you're going to see a big jump. You're going to see the Dark Horses, the Boom Studios, the IDWs. They're going to start going to the top. Not to mention the fact that we've got new books from the Energon universe coming out in March. And then when April comes around, look out, guys, because Jeff Johns' Ghost Machine is starting up in April. So there's going to be a lot more indie books to talk about for the second quarter of 2024. So for the first week of March of 2024, I am going to IDW, and I am giving the top pick to a book that I am so excited for, especially considering the fact that it is the 40th anniversary of this franchise. We've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin 2, Re-Evolution. I believe that Kevin Eastman is back on the book. Tom Waltz is back on the book. I don't think Peter Laird is attached, but I'm just excited to see this brand new breed of Ninja Turtles starting on their first couple of missions as heroes. We were introduced to them in The Last Ronin, The Lost Years, and I'm just so excited to see these characters finally take their place in the world of superheroes, and more importantly, get to know them a little bit more. For the second week in March of 2024, I am going back to Image Comics, and I'm going to be giving it to the 6th issue of Transformers from Daniel Warren Johnson. It is the conclusion of the first story arc. It is also going to be the last time that Daniel Warren Johnson draws this book. He'll still be writing the next story arc, but this will be the last time we see his artwork. So I am really curious to see what will be happening in the second story arc, but more importantly, I cannot wait to see where we're left in regards to this first story arc, considering what the cover is giving us. For the third week in March, I am going back to IDW, and I'm giving it to Patrick Hovarth's Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, issue number 4. So excited to see where we go, considering the cliffhanger that we were left on in issue number 3. And for the final week of March of 2024, this is the big one, guys. We have been eagerly awaiting this. The minute we found out that it was happening, Tony Fleecs and Trish Forstner are coming back together to give us their follow-up to Stray Dogs, which is called Feral. It is basically The Walking Dead with cats. But there was a big announcement that was dropped a few months after this book was announced. This book was originally supposed to be a 5-issue miniseries. Well, now we found out it's an ongoing. So that makes me very excited, but that also makes me very curious. Meaning, how is this going to be an ongoing series? Will it just be maybe 20 issues? Will it be 50 issues? I mean, considering the fact that this is classified as Walking Dead for cats, then The Walking Dead lasted for a very long time. So it's not impossible. But I am just curious to know how a story like this can go into ongoing series status. But long and the short of it is, I loved Stray Dogs, I loved this creator duo, and I am just so excited to see this brand new story come to life when issue number 1 comes out at the end of this month. So that is going to wrap up my stats, trends, and picks. Please leave your comments in the box below, and thank you very much for watching today. Please let me know what some of your favorite books from February of 2024 were, and if I missed anything, and what are some of your predictions for March of 2024. But in the meantime, everybody, I will see you in the next one.